Okay, so I'm totally in this awkward position that hopefully I'll readjust like when Stella moves. It's just like really awkward. But, and she's in quite the mood today. It's weird because it's like she's bipolar or something. I don't even know. She's just all over the place. One second she'll be crying, the next second she's out jumping around and playing. And she did track something go around the room, and then she jumped up and ran across the room. I was like, fuck. Oh, she just looked up at me. Oh, she's gonna do a little whimper about it. What? Now what? I told you I was about to start working. Well, sorry. I told you this is what I was doing. Go lay on your bed. Just go lay on your bed. Oh my gosh, Stella, stop it. Anyways, there was a few things that you can see it's not snowing, but it did snow today too. In the snow, like she forced me into going out for a walk, so it stopped snowing and so we went, and it wasn't like the snow was sticking like yesterday or something, but there was still the snow that hasn't melted from yesterday. But when you go and walk on it, it's not just like slush. It is like walking on oil. Like, it is mental. It is so slippery. I just know it's artificial as fuck. And I was just, because I saw a couple different things. Like I saw somebody in Puerto Rico, and this big windstorm all of a sudden just came in. And he said it was out of nowhere, and they were having to go in. And so, I don't know, some strange storm just all of a sudden came out of nowhere there. But some weird storm hit Las Vegas, too. A big windstorm. And my daughter was supposed to be there. She was supposed to be there to see Adele, and then Adele canceled. But so, a big windstorm in Vegas. But she's in Mexico. But they did have some challenges, some bullshit. It's like, I don't know how you can go out and travel like right now and not have some sort of nonsense. There's just so much nonsense going on. And there's so much fucking evil. You know what gets me too? Is like how people start making it like a locational murderer. Oh, like, oh, well, now a murderer came from somewhere else and came here and murdered. It's like, we have a lot of murderers here. Like, why are you acting like this is a strange occurrence? Like, we have so many here. It's just another one, you know? And I mean, have they gone through, should we pull up every fucking murder that has happened over the last 10 years and let's go across their nationality? Let's talk about their nationality at this point. Let's just talk about their culture, their nationality, where they come from. Like, it's absurd. And didn't we even go through that whole thing of, like, let's focus on the victims, not focus on the killers. Let's not give them any, clout. Let's not give them any, because they want to be famous for being killers or something. I don't know. And they like to see a name in lights or something. I don't know. It's all just so strange. I mean, but one of the things is they purposely brought these people in to do this stuff, and they're going to be doing it to the people who, well, it's like written in your contract. Stella, I swear to God, will you go lay on your bed? I am doing this. I'm moving this over here too, because you are a space hog. You take up my space. You take up my, she's so bossy on my time. So this is like battle of the wills. This is we're going through like where I talked about boundaries are that's a funkin' weirdo awkwardness with that light. So now I'm working on boundaries with Stella. Guys, this is what this day has been like, I swear. It's really weird. And it feels really weird. It feels so weird. It feels like I don't know how to explain it. It feels weird. And things just keep flying through my head too. It's really hard. Oh my gosh. Let me see if I just drop this curtain down. Hold on. Tricky. Okay, so anyways, so it's flying by. Let's see what we can catch. So these weird storms coming out of nowhere. There seems to be some really weird shit going on in Chicago. Or I don't know if it's another train derailment or something, but 3 trains or something hit. And there just keeps being these strangest wrecks. Like I told you that was going to be happening. Just these most strangest wrecks. Like it's just going to keep being really strange things like that. Oh, yeah, because they had let all those people, they brought all those criminals over here on purpose to be instigators, to wreak us havoc. Isn't that how you say it? Wreak havoc. So, like, wreak havoc. It's like it creates tension and fear and anger, and that's what gets me, is so much anger. And then where they don't see it, they go into like this is the first immigrant that's ever come here and killed somebody. They're making the biggest thing about that girl on that college campus to the point of like, okay, do we even know that this is even real? Like, how often do they do this shit? Like, and it just, like, look how much division, look how much fear, look how much anger. Is that's what they're always motherfucking doing. It's just keeping, but that's inside of people. See, it's inside the people. Because you can't make it be inside people. It's not, like, if it's not me, they can't put it inside of me. They can only trigger it inside of the people who have it. And that's why I said this is like a purging it out. It's the bringing this stuff all to the surface. Because there's so much of this pent-up hostility inside of people. And you know another thing, too? When we went out walking, I already had this one strange encounter with this lady. And I never see her. And I go out and walk Stella every day. And we just go right here in this little thing. And Stella just wants to, I don't know what she's tracking. She's just tracking something. She'll sit there and smell it. And then she darts over here. And we're just tracking stuff. And then she'll go and mosey around and just sit and eat grass and stuff. So we just go and hang out. Like, it's not like we go and do a whole big walk. We've done those before. But I don't know. She just stopped doing that. Just like she stopped getting on the couch and she stopped getting on the bed, and but she hasn't stopped bitching. Like that's a keep on going thing. So anyways, we and because after Jack left, because I wanted to have, I've tried all these different dogs that have come. I have babysat dogs, and anyways, I've tried to give Stella some sort of companionship, but, you know, trying to have Jack come, which I wonder sometimes how he's doing, if he's doing better, or if he just terrorized them, and who knows? I don't even want to know. Anyways, but Stella is so lonely and stuff, and so the neighbor was the one who was talking to her. She's the one who set it up and set both things up, when he came and when he left. And so, but when she was talking to me, I was like, it just sucks because Stella's so sad. She's so lonely all the time. And so she said, well, just bring her over here. She can come over here anytime and, you know, play out in the yard with the dogs or whatever. So anyways, so Stella went over there. So now it's every time she goes for walks, she runs straight over there. She's got to go there. Usually we'll go there first. She's got to go in, check it out. Then we have to go out and walk. And then she's got to go back and check it out again before she can go home. And then today, Alfie had come out. So we had to go tearing off. She had to go running. And I'm going through this slip stuff and slick stuff. And then, oh, my God. It was very challenging. But when we were hanging out there one of these days, because Stella just hangs out because she wants to see where Alfie is. But I already talked to the neighbor and stuff. Like, she was the one who invited her. And so we are, I'm just hanging out, like hanging out at the end of the driveway. I just open the gate, let Stella go in, and then I just stand out there and wait for her to finish doing whatever she's doing. Sometimes she'll just go in there and just lay down. I'm like, okay, I'm going home. If you're just going to go over there, just lay down. I'm going home. Bye. Oh, God. So anyway, we used to have an opening a long time ago between the 2 yards. And so Stella just used to mosey over there all the time. But then they didn't keep their gates shut, and it became a whole issue. And so anyways, I'm working. I already told you that. And so we were out there, and this woman pulls up, and she'd already driven past us. And I gotta think, the first interaction was strange, because she comes up and she goes, she starts like being accusatory towards me, and about me being there, and if I even know them, and what am I doing hanging out there, and she starts name dropping who they are and stuff like that. And I'm sitting here thinking, look, lady, you live diagonally from me. Like, my house is like right next door. This big ass dog has been out in this yard for years, and you don't recognize it. It's like, what in the hell with the unawareness with people? It's strange. This is not the only one, too. This is not the only neighbor who has been like, and Stella is always out there barking. Like, you go and talk to any of the dog walkers or anything, people who are, this is something I noticed when I started riding my bike all the time, is it changes your perspective. Like, when you're driving through a neighborhood, it's very different than if you go get on your bike or you go walk. So you see things different. You notice things different. And it's a whole new view. And so the people who walk around with their dogs, I'm sure they all know. I mean, some of them talk to Stella and stuff. But I was like, how strange that you don't even know. And so anyways, today she came down there. And we were down there. And she just pretended like we weren't there. And then Stella barked. And so she turned over and she did this like really snotty like turn. And then just turned and walked back off. Not the least bit friendly. Especially after she had already talked to me before. Not even nothing. And so I was like, you know what it is? These people who like they call Karens and stuff. And I've already talked about it before. There's like a bitterness and anger in them. And so when she was going up, I was thinking, see, this is this anger. Or so many of these women who, they start aging and it's like they don't ever speak up for themselves, or they never feel heard, or they have anger and resentment because people take advantage of them because they don't have good boundaries and different things like that. And then, so it starts becoming just like they're just wound too tight. I was thinking like the more you don't listen to a woman, and like if a woman in your life, you just don't listen to her, you cut her off, you don't listen to what she says. If she feels things, you just tell her, she's too emotional and she needs to change, and stuff like that. Then I think a lot of women, they just get something's just winding them tighter and tighter and tighter. And then you can see it. It's like, I swear to God, like think of it like that. Like something just tightening in their back. And it's like their whole face just becomes so tense, so angry. And they're just at a drop of a hat ready to just flip their shit. And I don't know. I mean, what a way to live. Another thing too, I was thinking about today too. Because, sometimes, like when I can't see very good, and like I have one daughter who's super, super clean freak. And she'll come in and she'll always be like, can you just not see very well? Like, no, I can't, but I just really don't care about the stuff to the degree you do either. Like, I don't care if something's dusty. It doesn't bother me. And so I was thinking about, like, it's funny, like when somebody goes into somebody else's house or something, it's like turns their vision up, like to look, and check and see. And it's really like, you should just turn it down, just like, it's somebody else's place or whatever. But I was thinking, because I kind of always think about, like, there's all these people on the planet, all these people everywhere, and they all live differently. Like, if I can't just live in a house, in a regular house with real floors and real bathrooms and real running water and a foundation and windows and shit, if I can't be comfortable just with that, like, you know, I got to have it be sterile. I got to have it be clean, dust free and stuff. It just, to me, is like, what are you doing with your mind? Like, how would you be able to survive in these other places where there's no windows, there's no flooring? I mean, they cook and bugs are flying. Like a lot of people live different. And it makes you think, like, we're in America, where it starts, it's like they wanted to get us to be so focused on germs and sterile and stuff. It's weird. It's just weird when you think about it. You know, because there's just so many different ways to live, and how, like, we choose to live in this way that just is, like, so draining of your energy, your time. I don't know. There's just so much at stake. You know, there's so much at stake with your house, your neighborhood, I mean, people get in fights with their neighbors over grass, over weeds, and over noise. That one, the shootout by my house, that one was over smoke. I was like, I don't know what he was doing. I think it was smoking or something. I think he was smoking cigarettes. I don't know if he was grilling. I don't even remember now. It's been a couple of years. But the one neighbor got so mad and said the smoke was going into his house, and came out and started fighting with them. And then one started shooting, and I don't know, the whole shootout, and the cops came, and then the cops got shot in the face. And I had, and I just always it doesn't crack me up or something. It's just as weird how, it's not weird, it's just real how things work. How when that cop, it was the same fucking cop who came out to me when the neighbors were saying they're going to beat me up again, and yelling at me out in the street and stuff. And the cop came and was talking to me, and he, and I said something about these neighbors out here. These people are crazy, man. They all have guns and stuff. They're crazy. And he just, like, laughed. Like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go talk to them for a minute. I'll be back. And brings their information back, and they end up sending me a ticket. I swear to God, I'm on the list or something. But anyway, so that was his attitude towards me. It was, ha, yeah, funny, huh, yeah, everybody out here has a gun. And then he ends up coming out to a call and gets shot in the face. And I guess it blinded him or something. I don't know what his outcome was. I don't think he got to stay being a cop. But, you know, everybody's got their own situations, their own storylines. And there's oh my God, there's just so many atrocious things going on, like, right now. Just, like, I do see a lot of different people's videos, doing all these videos and all these horrible crimes happening around them. And there's a lot, man. Just a lot of really horrible. But, you know, I knew that was going to be coming. And some of them, it's just like, you know, you think, like, why would a soul put themselves through that? Like the girl, a young girl who was just, I think she's like 20 years old. I think she has a child too. And she was sending her mom some weird text or something in the middle of the night. And so her mom started looking for her and couldn't find her, and they kept moving her. I guess she had the cops with her or something too. And they kept moving her, and then they ended up finding her body. But she, they haven't released all the stuff that was done to her. They said that they had her, and they kept moving locations. It was like 6 or 7 guys, and they were torturing her. They said it's the most horrific stuff that it is. They can't even talk about it. And it's just like, yeah, it's where you're like, why? And I don't like to say stuff because, you know, like, you don't know for sure, you know, what the person's stuff is they're playing out. But, I mean, it can be really bad stuff. Like she did really bad stuff to them. You know, like, they could have been soldiers. It could have been, like, there's so many different things. So many different things that are always playing out and going full circle so that you have the full experience. That's why I'd rather not get too involved in really horrible stuff like that. Like I think there's souls that just come and play out some really horrible stuff. I don't know. I don't think all souls. I don't think every soul. I don't think that you have to. I think that it just, but I don't think you have the same attitude when you're in your soul form as you are in the experience form or whatever. So, but I just know in my heart, in my soul, like, I don't know. I think that, I don't know. It makes me think like on our vibration. If it's like certain vibrations are more comfortable in more horrific kind of role plays. And then other ones, like, I mean, we all have horrific things happen. We all have really horrific things happen, but like, fuck. Like, shit, man. There's some, like, fuck. There's some, like, atrocious, it's like atrocities. Really bad stuff happening. And so, anyways, all that stuff is all full circle. None of this stuff, like, just because something happens to somebody else doesn't mean it can happen to you. And I think it has great value to just really realize that this is like a whole, like a multiplex theater, a whole bunch of different storylines are all playing out. All these different people's storylines are playing out. And so it's not, I just all of a sudden had this lady pop into my head because she was all, like, there's people who are fucking serious, I think. To seriously support these people who are in charge right now. Like, I don't know how indoctrinated, programmed you gotta be. But she was saying, like, it was this really good thing because now Kamala she's put in a ceasefire for 6 weeks or something. Will you please stop it? Doesn't it seem tense when she does that? I don't know. Maybe I feel the energy. Everything feels super intense. Like I can feel it kind of like, it's weird. Still, please stop it. I'm doing this. I told you. Well, sorry. You can't just take every second of my time. Lady, you are so bossy. Just go lay on your bed for a bit. Lady. Oh my God. And she's just sitting here staring at me. She must have been a whale before in another life. She's really comfortable using this sound pitch thing to... That's what I want to say. Go lay in your bed. God. That, okay, let me think. Because there was some other stuff I wanted to talk about. There was a bunch of stuff. And it was weird because it's like during the daytime or something, I will be like, always, I don't know, it must be like, because I'm always feeling like I'm in that communication, like I'm not alone. Like I'm more aware of that world. So I'm always talking to that world all the time. Because, like, who else am I going to talk to? Besides Stella. I talk to her too. I talk to them all the time. And so it must be like when I'm talking to them during the daytime, it must be like when you're in a more deeper thought that it's so much harder to come out and bring the thought with me. And so I'll be like having all these like profound thoughts and like ways of looking at things and stuff. And then I'll think, I was like, okay, well, I'll go talk about it, start trying to go through all this stuff. And it's like, well, what the hell was I thinking about all day? Like, I can't even remember. And it was like, man, it seems so like, oh my gosh. There was great value in what I was thinking about today, as a matter of fact. So, let me think. Because there was a lot of stuff on health things, of course. What was it? Was I going to say something about... Oh my gosh. I am getting so, like, I have, like, things got, like, this is, it's weird. It's like, sometimes, like, the energy is, you know, it's like when it's knocking stuff out of your hands or something. So, I don't know. It's like, there's an intensity or something in the energy or our energy field or something. It's like real intense or something. It's hard to, maybe that's why she keeps doing this too. And I feel like it's building. I do feel like it's building. And I do think like, I just don't know how it's going to go down, you know. I mean, there's so much storms and tension and violence and anger and stuff building. Like this, like we are in this storm. Like, and it's a very dark, dismal storm. Like, and it just keeps going. And it's hard to watch. You know, it's hard to watch so much acceptance of hate. So much like of, I don't know, picking sides and not caring what happens to the other side. There's so many things that people can find to divide on. Isn't it strange too? They can find so much to divide on, but why can't they find something to unite on? Because that's of a higher mind. That is being more logical and looking broader, not being focused on what's broken, not being focused on what's wrong, but looking at ways to see things in a more broader perspective, which just is more open, so it doesn't have the same likelihood of the same outcome. So anyways, that is so many things have to do with changing your perspective, and the ability of being able to change your perspective or open your mind and look and see things bigger. Is that there's so much about people are so I don't know, it's a strange thing when you go through your healing and then you go out into the world and you're around other people and you see what people are willing to put up with. It's just this, like, people are comfortable with it being, oh my gosh, Stella, will you please stop? You're making me really lose track of what I'm doing. She's called stuffing. Stop. She's eating the cheese thing. It must be making, like, it's not like a big drool thing, but still, what would I do? I don't even have a pocket. Got a napkin over there. You just lay down and let me do this, okay? Go lay on your bed. You know, it's not going to take forever. Unless you interrupt, the faster I can go, too. You interrupt me and get me off track. Go sit down. What are you bitching about? She makes these little faces, too. So, oh my God, I am trying to work. And this is the most disruptive, I think, she's been. I think ever. But that's what I swear to God, that's what the energy feels like. It feels like really bubbly. Feels like it is hard to, I feel like super, super excited. And I'm super, super excited. It's getting so close to my appointment too. I really, really am hoping that that is what's in the line, what the universe has got in the line for me. Is like this, I'm going to go there and they're going to do it right then. I'm going to get to leave with leave the plastic behind and head home. So anyways, I guess we'll just got to see what all plays out. Like, what is this? Now we're leaving the weekend. Yeah. So this is Sunday. So we're starting Monday. Okay, so Monday. So this week would be the last full week. Then the next week I go in the middle of the week to the appointment, hopefully. Big life-changing appointment. But so this week, though, like a lot of stuff can go on every week. And then it's nonstop with the storms and stuff like that. But there is, there's so many people. It's like so many tarot readers and, I don't know, psychic people, people who have prophetic dreams, people who talk to their guides and stuff like that. So many people are feeling that something is about to happen. Something big is about to happen. And it's so, when you just keep hearing that over and over and over, and I don't think it's, I mean, there's a lot of people who are scared and think it's going to be bad and it's going to end of the world or something. I mean, there's going to be some ends for sure, but that's what we've been going through. Lots of endings. There's going to continue being endings because things have to end to have beginnings. So we have endings because we have beginnings. So the, man, it's like all of a sudden there's like a whole flutter of things just went through my head. So see, that's what I'm saying. It's like really disruptive. It's weird. Okay, let me catch my thought again. So, oh my gosh. Dang. I can't remember what I was saying. Okay. So, there was a bunch of stuff I was seeing today, with vibration too. But fuck, I can't remember. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it. It will come into my head, but I definitely feel like there's a lot of interference and disruption. It feels very like super, super intense shaking or something. Oh yeah, because it was, oh well, yeah, because all these people are feeling, oh yeah, about it being bad. Like, yeah, I don't think it's going to be bad, but it's going to be bad for some people. Because it's going to feel bad because it's going to have some challenges that are going to come. And there's going to be a lot of loss. So things are going to happen. Things are going to shake up for sure. But, I don't know what it's going to be. I just know that it's going to be, things are going to just flip. It's going to flip everything the other direction. And that is, and it's weird how I'm starting to hear more people say, saying things more of like real things, There's still a lot of people who are waiting, Jesus is coming and stuff. Like, there's still a lot of people who are waiting on that, but that is, there's still a lot more that are like, I don't know, I'm talking about like the pole shift or the age of Aquarius or this changing ages and stuff. Because that, that's all we're doing is just changing, transforming. It's like, it is like a transformation of energy. It is, let's see, this is where I'll start seeing things that are just like, I don't know how to explain that. And always just is like, man, things are different than what people think. And everything is just like this radiation. But it's like people like think it's something different, but it's like, it is like a bell ringing, and what comes, it's like that, like a bell, like how a bell rings and how the sound just moves and vibrates out. That is like how like we are, like energy. And it's kind of like people try and make it into something so that they have an understanding of themselves. So it's like they try and capture onto something. I think that is like why there's such an unhealthy attachment to this three-dimensional reality. But see, that is why, because it's so unhealthy of an attachment, that is why it's going to flip. But I just don't think that people really understand, because even when you say stuff about the pole shift and stuff, I don't think people understand about like the energy flipping and what it's going to feel like. And it is, and I don't even know. I'm just like, I've been watching it and watching, you know, when I went through my own stuff all of a sudden, where you all of a sudden see things that you didn't see before. And, you know, and there does have an attachment to it of like, I wish I would have seen sooner. Wish I would have known sooner of a lot of different things. And so, you know, that's a whole process to go through. But there is like a lot of people who, you know, like they think this is all there is. And they live like this is all there is. And when things open up in such a big way, it's such a reevaluation. There's just, that's what so much of what is going to occur is like this huge reevaluation. Even the whole thing with the shadow work and the people facing themselves, but it's all for this transition. You know, it's all for this changing, because like, you have to change in order to go into. You have to change in order to be different. You can't be the same and live in a different world. You have to, you know, do the transfer. You got to do the changes. You got to change yourself in order to be in a place that is different than you are. Like, you can't expect, kind of is like, there's a lot of people in this world that expect the world to change around them. What they need and what they want. They want the world to conform to what they need and want. But you need to be able to conform to the world. You need to be able to expand yourself, open your mind, and that is the creation of a new world. The more that you can expand, there's so much about this, the shifting through. It's like shifting through all these things, you know, of where you built your life and how you structured yourself and who you became. And this is like, it sounds so like, you know, easy when you talk about it. But these are huge concepts that are about to be broken down. Huge. Like these people waiting on Jesus. Like that is about to break down. There's religion is about to break down. Western medicine is about to break down. Government is about to break down. Like, you have people who are completely dependent. They do not have any clue that you can live without being governed. They don't even understand what independence, even, like, what weird. Money. Like, people think, like, they can't understand, how would you even live? How do you live without grocery stores? Like, people are so limited in their abilities, in their perspective of how they look at things, and it is like in a more highly sophisticated technological society where the beings end up becoming less. You know, you're less developed because you're relying on something else to do something rather than you working and developing and doing it yourself. So it is a trade-off to, and I don't know, is it a good trade-off? Like, I don't know. It is like, I mean, everything isn't even real anyways. Like, when you leave from the game, it is, like, it wouldn't be the same. You would just be yourself. So, you wouldn't, like, there's so much stuff here that gives us illusion that it matters, that it makes a difference. And it just doesn't. There's so much stuff here that doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. And people get so caught up on it. People fucking argue and fight over it. People are hateful towards each other over it. People go to war over shit. Like, People go to war over shit that doesn't matter. People are fucking fighting over land. It's like anybody owns it. It's absurd. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody owns it. You can't tell the earth you own it, and then you're gonna fight over it. So you have people fighting over that. People fighting over, like, there's just, I don't know. It seems like such a redundant conversation going right now with this this college situation, the girl getting killed and stuff. It really does seem like that for how much space is taking up, it really does seem like it's fake or something. It's to help people. I don't know that it's fake. You know, it could be a total setup. I have no idea. There's just, because even the souls that are living out these real scenarios that go on, they are also, it's like they're martyrs. It's like they are martyrs to wake people up on some of the stuff. It was such horrible things. What was it? It was something I had just seen. I think it was a medical thing. I don't remember. But it was something. It was really, really horrific. And I was like, oh, this has got, I swear it's a medical, some weird medical, ethical, weird thing going on. Like, there keeps being a lot of that weird shit. But all those things, when those horrible things happen, that is, because it has a ripple effect. It has a wave that goes out. And so it makes people see things and talk about things and realize things. And so that person's short life or death or experience is it's like a part of the awakening. It's a part of getting people to see things and wake up, and I don't know, a lot of different things. But anyways, so there is a lot of that. And then there's also, though, you have people who, with karma, balancing, you have, there's just a lot of different things going on. And it's just weird because all these people who just sit back and think like all this stuff is just happening. It's just happening. Like, oh, you gotta be careful. That could happen to you. Oh, I almost died today. Oh, this. It's like, no, you don't almost die. If you leave, it is to remind you, I think. You know, and then even if it's like an accident or something, like it's not almost. You die, you leave the game, but it's like people have this thing like, I almost died, like, I was so close, like, oh, this could have happened. It's like, no, the only thing that can happen is supposed to happen. And if you're going to die, that means you're leaving the game. That's what's supposed to happen at that time. You can't go past the time. It's set. And then if it is, if the people are, oh my gosh, I can't believe how I keep getting these weird itches. My head keeps going blank. So if the, oh my gosh. This is just weird. Hopefully that's a good sign. Hopefully it's a good sign that things are about to just flip us over. Because that is going to be, the things flipping over is going to be so much about, it's going to make people see themselves. Like, all this stuff is so much about people seeing themselves. And so when the things flip and turn directions, it is kind of like, it's like the stuff flipping is what turns the direction. It's like the things, it's like all of a sudden for the people to see and see what they didn't see is what flips it. It seems like Like, it is all like one action, kind of. Or if it's like, it's like the thing all of a sudden seen. But it all goes together. And everything flipping the other direction. So everything's going to start going in a completely different direction. But it's going to be the people's attitudes. That's the big thing. Is all this hatefulness, all this division, all this fear, all this stuff that is, you know, that people have out there going right now. Like, there's a lot. Man, there's a lot. Because even, you know, like even in a state of divorce and sadness or something, when it flips, he's going to take you from that sadness to seeing your responsibility. So I don't know how to say, like, because that's going to feel like more sadness to some people. It's going to feel like way worse. Because it's one thing when you're feeling sad and it's the other person's fault. But when everything flips and you see yourself, and you see the things you've done, you see your behavior, you see your actions. But you got to remember, all those things are for you to heal. It's not to punish you. It is all these events are bringing this stuff up. All these events are purging this stuff to the surface in people. So when this all, because it all goes together perfectly. And when it all flips, and so it's also, everybody can see themselves. But it's just so crazy because there's so many people who are sad, and mad, and scared. But they're seeing such limited view. And so it's going to, and it's so much of themselves is the block, you know, because it is like you can't get people to be hateful and angry unless it's in them, you know, like, I don't know, the stuff that is coming up in people is inside of them. It's not like this, it's like this, the stuff happening is making that come up in people, but it's, the stuff happening is so that stuff will come up in people. Like, they're here for it. They're here so this stuff comes up. They're here because life after life after life after life, they're crammed full of all sorts of different stuff. And then these situations, these events, they're all perfectly set up scenarios so that you can play out this emotion, these emotions that you have carried for a long time. So it's not like you have to play out the same scenario. It's not like you have to remember. It's not like you have to go, I mean, there is a lot of helpfulness if you go in and you face your past life stuff when it comes up, when there's things, especially if you have like certain fears or sicknesses or things you just don't understand about yourself. That can all be from like parts of you from past lives. So there is a lot of helpful stuff, but there is also where you don't have to just try and be like, well, I can't heal that. It's from past life. I don't even remember it. Because things in this life are playing out so that it brings up the same emotions that it is you're trying to heal. Whatever it is, it's like so perfect that it's like has a scenario playing out so that the stuff heals that you're supposed to heal. So it's all perfectly set up. And so, but it does take people being more present. But that is also where the distractions, when things flip, it's like the distractions are more halted. People have to, there's going to be like, and maybe I'll be like, because of tragedies and stuff, that they'll have to be focused on what's going on. And, oh, you know what? And I did see that one place up there, and I don't know if it's Arrowhead or Bear Lake or which place it was. I think it was Sierra Nevada or Sierra in California, and up in the mountains. And they did have the snow. It was like all the way up on the roof. The one lady who was doing a video, and she was showing even the neighbors, she said, like, we'll see if we can even see their house after this, because you can only see like a little bit of their house. And they were having to move things and stuff. But the snow was already so high, and they were expecting another 8 or 10 feet. And they said blizzard conditions. And that is the real Donner's Pass that those people are all stuck on. I don't know if they're off of there yet. Like, I don't know what's going on up there. So all those people, because there's people who were saying, like, how did they even get stuck up there? Were they told not to drive up there and they went anyways? But the way that these storms are coming in from nowhere. But also, I think that, like, that storm was expected. About this 8 or 10 foot snow was expected. But I don't know, like, in every single area. You know, it's hard to believe, like, 1,000 people would all be that nonchalant about it, you know, like, no big deal. Oh, yeah. And this was funny, because this woman, so it's this doctor, and she looks like Toni Collette, and she's sitting at this computer, and so she has the phone in front of her, and so she's looking at ICD-9 codes, and those are the codes that they use for insurance codes, for like where they have diagnosis codes, and ICD-9 codes are like treatment codes, and the things like your consultation has an ICD-9 code. All the different things have codes. So everything is about this coding for insurance companies. So when you go and you put in different things, like when a doctor does something, they have to find the code in order to charge for it. And so she was looking up these ICD-9 codes, and she said, well, here's another one that's weird about these codes. And she said, like, so she starts explaining, she's like, I don't even understand this at all. And she said, because we don't even have zombies. I mean, you would think, like, that it would be, like, nothing. But she said, no, there's a whole section in here on zombies. And so she said, and I'll just read you some of the codes, or I'll just read you some of the things, because they're very specific things. And she keeps saying things through this, like, I'm not sure if we're going to have, like, zombies. I don't know what's going on with this. Like, I'm not sure. But so if a zombie throws a lawnmower at you, there's a code for it. If any limbs or zombies come flying out of airplanes and you get hit with them, there's a code for it. There's a code for if you are hit by more than one zombie. There's, like, all these different things. And she was going through them, and she just kept being like, this is so strange. I'm not really sure what is going on and why there's all these codes for zombies. It makes you think, like, you know, is something going to go down? It's very strange how they put this zombie stuff in so many different things. Like, the CDC has a whole thing of, like, there's a bunch of different places. Amazon has a whole thing about it. Oh, yeah, and other, I think it was Amazon just laid off a whole bunch more people. All these, there's expected a whole bunch of layoffs. And that's going to be, and even, because somebody was filming in the room when they were doing this layoff, and you could see the stress on some of the people. Some of the people were just like, you could just tell they just want to be, just shut the fuck up and let us out of here. Like, they were totally stressed. And there was one girl in the middle of the room. She's, like, throwing herself around. You just can see it. Like, she's thinking about her bills. She's thinking about her money. She's thinking about this. She's just like, oh. She's just freaking out. It's like, but that is what is going to keep going on and going on. And it isn't it's not like the universe and it's trying to punish you, and God's trying to punish you, and God hates you. No, things are being taken away from you that are not good for you. You have these challenges that you're going through are for you to grow. They're for your benefit. They aren't a punishment. They're because you can do better, and you will do better. But, you know, just like how I had to be pushed out of my last relationship. I had to be pushed off the merry-go-round that I had myself trapped in, this circus of patterns of just a cycle, just the bullshit. And so finally, though, getting pushed off of it, well, that's what the universe is doing to everybody. It's pushing everybody beyond their limit, pushing people out of their comfort zone, pushing people to face the things they don't want to face, pushing people to push themselves in ways that they didn't even know that they could. There's people who are learning things about themselves that they didn't even know about themselves. And there's so many people who just look at their own selves as just weak ass. But we have become a weak ass society. Like, you know, we do have to go through some of these challenges. We do have to, like, push ourselves. Like, we are becoming, this is some old saying, I don't know if it's some old president or Plato or where it comes from or something, and I won't be able to repeat it exactly, but it's something about when times are tough, then it makes people tough. It makes tougher people. People can, you know, withstand more. They can do more. Makes strong people. And when things are easy, it makes soft people, weak people, whiny people. So we need challenges. We need to be pushed. We need to see what we're made of. You know, otherwise we just sit back like little marshmallows, whining and crying because somebody poked us. So it's time, you know, for us to be challenged. This is the evolution. This is the change. This is like, and I keep thinking about it's like Earthlings more now than just humans, especially now because they're trying to change the whole thing about what a human is and stuff like that. But really, it's like the Earthlings, the people who reside on this realm called Earth. And there's other, you know, existences on or in the earth and stuff, like, because it's all these realms and realities, and I think that there's stuff opening up. I think there's stuff opening up in the sky. I think that there's cities and stuff in the sky. Like, if we were, and like some of the stuff that we see here, like, it's hard to know, like, how much of it is holograms and how much of it is real. How much of it is it in the firmament? Is it out of the firmament? Is the firmament, you know, like, kind of like to us, the firmament is there, but to other beings and stuff, is it not there? Like, is it not really a thing? It's a vibrational hold. You can't go out of that vibration, but there's not really a thing there. Or is there really a dome that has got light spectrum going through it, and, you know, they have to find different areas to enter, and that we can only see inside the dome? Can we see outside the dome? I mean, you have all these people who are, I mean, there are people who look in telescopes. I have a telescope, and you know, it's so curious, like, where is everything? How far are we looking? And especially when you start being like, okay, well, this whole thing about space and planets and us out there spinning around and stuff, none of that's real. And so then it's like, what is? I see it like more of a, like there's been so many things like on the binaural beats or whatever, the visuals, where I've thought, oh, this is what I think it's like. And it's kind of realms and colors and movement and different energies zipping around. And so, but I think that there is like cities and stuff, just like that one lady's her NDE, and she said that when she went to wherever was it she went to, she went to a bunch of different places, but it was some place where she was out, and she said that it was like they showed her like the crystalline city, this crystal city that was over there, and that is like this heavenly kind of, where it's so weird. It's like, it was a Wizard of Oz telling things, but like on a different kind of level. Like, I know that there's a lot of symbolic stuff with the Wizard of Oz, but that's kind of weird how they had that, like the Emerald City, and, you know, it's like the Emerald City, and that is where everything is good. Because it, like in that NDE, it was like a crystalline city, and she didn't go into it, but it's where, I don't know, it's the city of where we are when we're dead, I guess. But there's lots of different realms. I don't think it's like, not that you have to go there, but you can't go there unless you're dead or not alive or whatever. Like, you can't, like, it's weird because even when the people, when they have near-death experiences and stuff, it's not like they really die. I mean, their body dies for a little while, but it's all like a part of the thing. It's not like they really die, but it's kind of like, I don't know, the attachment still is to there. To me, it seems like it's kind of a reminder to remind people what they are when they're in their life or something. And who knows if it was all, well, everything is set up exactly. So everything is set up. So it would have always been, that would have always been what was going to happen. They were always going to have that. It was always going to be a part of their story. And so, but it's kind of like a reminder, but it's not like you die and then you just go into death. I mean, even when people cross over all the time in the NDEs and stuff, that all the people who come to visit them and see them, they always tell them you have to go back. You can't, it's not like you get to just go full on in. It seems like you go into different realms, different places, but the heavens are like, there's like, just how like we are encapsulated, like this low vibration. So you just think about like a high vibration, but it's kind of like the high vibration is safe because of all the low vibration is encapsulated. Man, I swear to God, there's so much like the never-ending story always comes in too. As I don't know, the never-ending story, I think, has got things about like what's more real, like with realms and the darkness and the light and stuff. But see, like the darkness of the dark vibration and stuff is kept in the, like in these snow globes kind of, because it's encapsulated. But it is like, man, it's kind of like I don't know, like some of these things, like I don't understand, but like if it grows, like darkness grows, like it starts out small, but it grows and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I don't know if it is like it forms its own capsule, maybe. Like it forms its own capsule to be contained in. But like it can't just go out and invade it. Like it, but it's like by vibration. So yeah, it can't go past this vibration. It has to stay down. But anyways, there's places where there's just good. There's just happiness. There's like, you know, the places you go to experience this stuff is dark. To me, I swear to God, this is what, to me, is hell. Like where people talk about hell, this would be what hell would be. It's low vibration, bad things happen all the time. People have no idea. People are clueless. People are misguided. People are, I don't know, how is it not hell? It's like people keep themselves trapped in their own hell. People keep themselves trapped in their own patterns of behavior. And so much of everything has to do with people, just this evolution is facing yourself. This evolution, facing yourself, is how you break down and break free from the patterns. It's the chains that hold you back. It's how you break free from the chains. It's facing yourself and facing your own patterns. And yeah, and so much stuff has to do with forgiveness. Like, and there still is that narrative of, because I just saw another video where somebody was like talking about like focused on being a good mom and being a good parent, but that just reminds them so much of how bad theirs was and how they'll never forgive theirs. It's like it would be best for you not to do that kind of stuff. It'd be best for you not to be stuck in, you know, I'm not forgiving them. I'm staying in my, because what are you staying in? If you're not forgiving, what are you staying in? You have to hold on to something. Something doesn't just go away. So if you are holding on to something, you got to hold on to, if you can't, the anger has to be attached to something. The holding on to not forgiving, so you're holding on to this anger and resentment. You're holding on to bitterness. You're holding on to a period of time that you weren't even happy. You're holding on to the things that make you unhappy. You're holding on to just anger and resentment and bitterness, and so you gotta let go of that stuff. You gotta, forgiveness is important and it's valuable. It is how you release things. And even if you don't feel safe around that person, it doesn't mean because you forgive somebody that means you have to go and sit down and hang out with them. You have to make them dinner. You have to go over and clean their house or something. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You don't have to do you don't have to have a relationship with them. But the more that you challenge yourself with your relationships and go around people that push you and trigger you and stuff, and the more that you work on your boundaries, the more you're going to feel bigger and safer and more proud of yourself. Like when you go around certain people that can't do anything, once you've built yourself up, once you've built up your boundaries, your self-esteem, how you feel, it doesn't matter what those people say or think. You'll just look at them like, you know, it's just sad. You just feel sad for them. And, you know, you just got to wait. You know, like everybody's got their own challenges, and everybody's got their own things to go through. Everybody's got their own growth. You know, and we all have all these, you know, these strange occurrences and all these different relationships. And there's a lot going on right now, just a lot. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people who are just really overwhelmed and sweating it and stuff. Maybe probably, you know, it'll feel like kind of a relief when everything just kind of pushes that. Like, I feel like it's going to feel so much better. I swear. And I don't know if that's just for me or what. I just feel like it's going to feel better to a lot of people. But I feel like that they're going to be facing some stuff that's going to make them uncomfortable. But I just feel like there's so much, I feel like when it shifts, it is going to be like a release of a lot of darkness. Like there's going to be a lot of darkness, and it's going to feel good. It's going to feel good. And the people who carry that darkness, who carry that hostility, they're going to feel more shame and embarrassed. They're going to feel bad. So there's going to be, you know, a lot of healthy transformation that's going to happen from it all. But anyways, it's going to be intense for sure. And it's got to be close, I swear. There's a lot of, I mean, all these things. There's always dates. All these people are really hung up on April 8th in the eclipse. Like, there's people who think, like, the eclipse is going to happen, and it's going to go dark, and then we're going to be in dark, and... Gosh, dang. I don't know why it's, like, constantly getting attacked in my throat. fuck, man. Fuck. I don't even know how to explain that one. I just, you know, it's always all of a sudden, too. It's just like, it makes me in my mind, I feel like I've got these little pygmies or something shooting blow darts at me or something. Like, shut her up. Anyways, that is, but everything, you know, like I've said about a zillion times. Oh yeah, because everybody's like hung up on this April 8th, the eclipse, thinking that something's going to go down, which I don't know if it'll go down like that. But there's a lot of people who are picking up on, or I think astrology people too, that there's going to be a lot of changes in March. So I think that a lot of stuff is going to go down in March. Like I can't even imagine, like, things that got to start happening. Like, things that got to start happening, for God's sakes. What the fuck? It'd go through the whole... Surely this is, like, this really was, like, the beginning of March was our real new year. This really is, like, a giving birth. Like, this is the spring. This is where things are going to start birthing. Things are going to start opening up. Things are going to start going into place. And so I think that in our natural cycles, that would be what would be a healthy expectation, to be thinking we're going to start having a lot of change, a lot of birthing into things, like probably new businesses starting, new ideas, new ways of looking at things. There's going to be a lot of that going on in March. I think March is going to have a significant thing. Like, when people keep saying about April, I keep thinking, man, I think there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to go on March before we even get to April. So anyways, we'll see. We're just getting started. And all I have focused on is my date. So I've got my own stuff where I'm focused on what I have going and what I want to accomplish. And I think that is important too, is for everybody to stop being so caught up in their drama that they're trying to create, to keep you off balance, and really put your energy towards what it is you want, what it is you want to create, what it is you want from your life, and start redirecting your energy towards you. And I don't know, this place just is going to keep sucking the life out of people as long as it can. But I don't know. We'll just see. I mean, all this stuff is going to go down. All these things are going to crash. It just was like, fuck, is it going to go super, super slow? Like, and it could, like, the way the rest of this all goes. It just seems like once the awakening part happens, once the shift where people actually see the thing that we're close to, where things turn direction, that to me, though, it seems like it won't. We will have, once that shift goes, I think it's going to start going really good, really fast. And see, that was a sign, huh? All of a sudden she moved out and it started moving. And right when I said it, things are going to start moving really good, really fast. I think that was a sign. And I've been getting a lot of those lately. Lots and lots of those. Pay attention when you're thinking about something, or when you're saying something, or when you're looking at something, of other things. Like, there's signs, or there is confirmations and stuff that go on all the time. So anyways, it's just as, you know, start paying attention to those kinds of things. And that will help you probably too, to get more onto, you know, getting more focused on the spiritual side of life, and stop being so focused on this gameplay that they have going. They're just creating drama and distraction, and all these people that just keep playing into it. It's so much better to start working on you. But, you know, gratitude towards these people. Still, I have gratitude towards them. Even the ones that are just like, I mean, all the people, the angry ones, all of them, they're all important roles. They're all, even though there's just two sides. There's just like everything. There's nobody doing anything wrong. That's all I know. There's nobody doing anything wrong, and I have appreciation for everybody's different things. Even the ones that are out there just like freaking out. They are freaking out so much that they're getting more people to wake up. So everything has like good parts, and everybody has parts they're playing, and all these parts are playing out. And so you just got to keep going with the flow. And while you're going with the flow, you got to remember to love yourself, love everybody, and have a loving day. And then I'll talk to you tomorrow, and we'll see what that day is like. Hopefully it's a little like energetic. I just feel like when things start going and it flips, it's not going to feel so like, so anyways, love everybody. Love yourself, love everybody, and have a loving day, have a loving night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. I love ya.